want to start with a confession. For years, I wore a mask of confidence, a mask that said, I've got it all figured out. But beneath it, there is a voice, a quiet, nagging voice that whispered, you're not good enough, you don't belong here. And what if they find out you're a fraud? That our voice has a name, it's called self-doubt. And when it teams up with imposter syndrome, it doesn't just knock on the door of your mind, it barges in, takes a seat, and starts dictating your life. I know that voice well because it used to own me. But here's the truth. Self-doubt and imposter syndrome are not enemies to fear. They're obstacles to understand, overcome, and outgrow. So today, I'm not here to give you a magic cure or tell you to just believe in yourself. I'm here to unpack what those feelings really mean, why they show up, and how we can reframe our thinking to make them powerless. Because if you're sitting here thinking you're not enough, you already are. Let me show you why. Self-doubt is a natural response to challenging situations or new experiences. It often arises when we step outside our comfort zone or face high expectations, either from ourselves or others. This feeling can be unsettling, but it's essential to recognize that self-doubt is not inherently negative. Instead of viewing it as a barrier, it can be reframed as a signal, a message from our minds that we are in unfamiliar territory or grappling with something that matters deeply to us. When we experience self-doubt, it often reflects a desire to succeed and an awareness of the stakes involved. This heightened self-awareness can push us to prepare more thoroughly, refine our skills, and ultimately perform better. However, the key is not to let it paralyze us, but to channel it constructively. Self-doubt invites us to pause, assess our approach, and adapt if necessary. By doing so, we turn it into a tool for growth rather than a source of fear. So understanding the root causes of self-doubt can also help us navigate it more effectively. It often stems from comparisons with others, a fear of failure, or a lack of self-confidence in our abilities. These triggers highlight areas where we may need to shift our perspective. For instance, comparing ourselves to others overlooks our unique strengths and circumstances. Instead of measuring success against someone else's achievements, focusing on our progress can reduce feelings of inadequacy. Self-doubt is often most intense in moments of transition or high-pressure situations. This is when it's crucial to recognize that growth and discomfort are intertwined. The presence of doubt is not an indication of failure, but a reminder that we are venturing into new territory. When viewed through this lens, self-doubt becomes the signpost of personal development. While self-doubt can feel like a roadblock, it is better understood as a checkpoint, a moment to pause and realign with our goals. It's an opportunity to ask ourselves what's driving these feelings and whether they hold any factual basis. More often than not, the fears and doubts are exaggerated or unfounded, fueled by our inner critic rather than reality. Recognizing this helps to reduce its impact and gives us the clarity to move forward. Imposter syndrome thrives in isolation, feeding off the silence we maintain about our internal struggles. It creates a false narrative that we are alone in our feelings of inadequacy, or that we are the only ones questioning our right to success. This isolation amplifies the negative voices in our minds, making them seem louder and more convincing than they are. When we don't talk about these feelings, they gain strength and begin to shape how we view ourselves and our accomplishments. Sharing these feelings with others is one of the most powerful ways to dismantle imposter syndrome. When we open up about our doubts and insecurities, we often discover that they are far more common than we realized. Colleagues, mentors, and even those we admire may reveal that they have faced or are currently facing similar struggles. This shared experience breaks the illusion of isolation and reminds us that self-doubt is not a reflection of our capabilities, but a shared human experience. Talking about imposter syndrome also helps to put it into perspective. When we hear someone else articulate the same fears we hold, it's easier to recognize how distorted and unfounded those fears are. This external validation serves as a reminder that the doubts we experience are not unique to us and are not an accurate measure of our worth or potential. Sharing can take many forms. It might involve a conversation with a trusted friend, mentor, or colleague who can offer reassurance and insight. In professional environments, creating spaces where people can openly discuss challenges and insecurities fosters a culture of understanding and mutual support. Even small steps, such as acknowledging imposter syndrome in team meetings or workshops, can help normalize these feelings and encourage open dialogue. The act of sharing also creates opportunities for encouragement and constructive feedback. Often the people around us can see our strengths and achievements more clearly than we can. Their perspective can challenge the negative self-perceptions that imposter syndrome cultivates, offering a more balanced and realistic view of our capabilities. By opening up about these feelings, we not only help ourselves, but also create a ripple effect, encouraging others to confront and address their own struggles with imposter syndrome. This collective effort helps to break down the stigma surrounding self-doubt. Negative self-talk is one of the most insidious ways imposter syndrome and self-doubt maintain their hold on us. These internal dialogues often consist of harsh criticisms, exaggerated fears, and limiting beliefs that undermine our confidence and abilities. Phrases like, "I'm not good enough," "I don't deserve this," or "I'm gonna fail" can become so ingrained that they feel like truths rather than fleeting thoughts. Reframing negative self-talk with evidence-based affirmations is a powerful tool to combat these destructive patterns. Reframing begins with awareness. It's important to recognize when negative self-talk arises and identify the specific thoughts or beliefs fueling it. This might involve noticing a pattern, such as self-criticism after making a mistake, or doubting your achievements during moments of success. Once these patterns are identified, the next step is to challenge their validity by seeking evidence. For example, if you think "I'm not qualified for this role," take a moment to list the qualifications, skills, and experiences that have led you to your current position. Reflect on specific accomplishments or feedback from others that contradict this thought. This process helps to replace vague, self-critical assumptions with factual, evidence-based affirmations. Evidence-based affirmations are grounded in truth rather than empty positivity. Instead of saying, "I'm the best," you might affirm, "I've worked hard to develop the skills that brought me here, and I'm capable of learning and growing further." These statements are realistic and empowering, helping to shift focus from perceived shortcomings to actual strengths and potential. This practice also involves changing the language we use with ourselves. Shifting from absolute and catastrophic statements to more balanced and compassionate ones makes a significant difference. For instance, instead of saying, "I always mess up," reframe it as, "I made a mistake, but I can learn from this and do better next time." This shift not only softens the impact of self-criticism, but also creates space for growth and improvement. Reframing negative self-talk takes consistent effort, especially when these thought patterns have been reinforced over time. However, each instance of reframing weakens their hold and strengthens a more constructive and empowering internal dialogue. This gradual transformation in self-perception can build confidence and resilience. Progress, not perfection, is the antidote to self-doubt because it shifts the focus from unattainable ideals to achievable steps. Perfectionism often fuels self-doubt by creating unrealistic expectations. When we believe that only flawless performance is acceptable, any mistake or shortcoming can feel like a failure, reinforcing the idea that we are not good enough. This mindset is paralyzing, making us hesitant to take risks or try new things for fear of falling short. By prioritizing progress, we redefine success as continuous growth and effort rather than an impossible standard of perfection. Progress is measurable and tangible. It allows us to track our improvement over time, providing a sense of accomplishment that perfectionism often denies us. Small steps forward, no matter how incremental, are evidence of our capabilities and dedication. These steps build momentum, boosting confidence and counteracting the feelings of inadequacy that self-doubt thrives on. Each achievement, no matter how small, serves as a reminder of our ability to learn, adapt, and improve. Focusing on progress also encourages a growth mindset, the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. This perspective transforms challenges into opportunities for development rather than threats to our competence. It allows us to view mistakes and setbacks as part of the learning process rather than as indicators of failure. When we embrace this mindset, we are more willing to take on challenges and persist in the face of difficulties, even when self-doubt arises. A focus on progress also fosters resilience. By celebrating each step forward, we build a reservoir of positive experiences to draw from during moments of doubt. These moments of progress serve as reminders of how far we've come and what we are capable of achieving. Over time, this accumulation of evidence strengthens our belief in our abilities and diminishes the power of self-doubt. This approach requires a conscious effort to redefine our metrics for success. Instead of asking, "Did I do this perfectly?" we can ask, "What did I learn from this?" or "How did I grow?" These questions shift the focus from unattainable outcomes to meaningful progress. By making this shift, we create a healthier and more sustainable framework for evaluating ourselves and our accomplishments. Discomfort is an inevitable part of growth, and learning to embrace it is key to overcoming self-doubt. Often we interpret feelings of unease as signs of inadequacy or failure, leading us to retreat to familiar territory where we feel safe and confident. However, discomfort is not a reflection of our lack of ability. It is a natural response to venturing into the unknown. It signifies that we are challenging ourselves, stepping beyond our comfort zones, and pushing the boundaries of what we believe we are capable of achieving. When we face new challenges or take on responsibilities that stretch us, discomfort can trigger a cascade of self-doubts. Thoughts like, "I don't belong here," or "I'm not ready for this," often emerge during these moments. Recognizing that these feelings are a normal part of the process helps to neutralize their power. Instead of seeing discomfort as a warning sign to stop, we can reframe it as a marker of professional growth. Discomfort is often where the most significant learning and transformation occur. It forces us to confront our limitations, adapt to new situations, and develop skills we may not have realized we possessed. These moments of challenge build resilience, confidence, and competence, all of which are antidotes to self-doubt. Each time we navigate through discomfort successfully, we expand our comfort zone, making future challenges less intimidating. Embracing discomfort requires a shift in mindset. Instead of seeking certainty or ease, we can focus on the opportunities that lie within the struggle. This means acknowledging that discomfort is temporary and that the skills and insights gained from enduring it will have long-term benefits. By leaning into these moments, we train ourselves to tolerate and even welcome the unease that accompanies growth. Developing strategies to navigate discomfort can also help reduce its intensity. Breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps can make daunting challenges feel more achievable. Practicing mindfulness and self-compassion can help us stay present and grounded, preventing our minds from spiraling into fear or self-criticism. Surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals who encourage and validate our efforts can provide additional strength to persevere. Ultimately, discomfort is a powerful teacher, revealing our potential and resilience in ways that comfort and routine cannot. Celebrating small wins is a critical strategy for reinforcing self-worth and building confidence, especially in the face of self-doubt. When we experience moments of doubt, our focus tends to shift toward what we lack or what we perceive as failures. This negative lens can overshadow our accomplishments, making it easy to overlook the progress we've made. By intentionally recognizing and celebrating even the smallest achievements, we create a counterbalance to these negative thoughts, reminding ourselves of our capabilities and worth. Small wins are often the building blocks of larger successes. Each step forward, no matter how minor it may seem, contributes to our overall growth and achievement. Acknowledging these moments helps to sustain motivation and momentum, especially when working toward long-term goals. Celebrating small wins not only reinforces a sense of accomplishment, but also reminds us that progress is an ongoing journey, not a single monumental event. So, taking the time to reflect on our achievements helps us to shift our perspective. Instead of fixating on what hasn't been done, we learn to appreciate what has been accomplished. This practice cultivates gratitude and fosters a more balanced view of ourselves and our efforts. Over time, this habit can weaken the grip of self-doubt, as it emphasizes evidence of our competence and perseverance. Celebrating small wins doesn't require elaborate gestures or public recognition. It can be as simple as pausing to reflect on a task completed, sharing your success with a friend or colleague, or treating yourself to something you enjoy. These acts of acknowledgement validate our efforts and create positive reinforcement for continuing to push through challenges. This practice also helps to build resilience by creating a reservoir of positive experiences to draw from during times of doubt. When self-doubt arises, recalling these small victories serves as a reminder of our ability to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. Each celebrated win strengthens our belief in ourselves, making it easier to confront new challenges with confidence. Small wins can also inspire others and foster a culture of support and encouragement. When we openly share and celebrate our achievements, we give others permission to do the same. This collective acknowledgement of progress helps to normalize the idea that success is built incrementally.